All right, everybody, welcome back. My name is Paul L. Poppy.
Hey.
Episode 37, Top Tier Podcast. Happy
Episode
New Year to
37.
everyone. Happy holidays, man. 2023, I think it's going to be a better year. And gas prices dropping. Something serious, man.
You excited
really
about that
excited.
out there?
I'm very excited.
What's
I went
that
to the
gas like
station
out there?
the other day.
Shit.
It's like at the Costco, it's like $3.95, man. We went from like $7 to $3.95.
That's not as bad as I expected.
It's pretty good. That's
Yeah.
Costco though. Typically, what I pay near my job is like $4.15, something like that.
Yeah.
Costco,
It's getting better.
they
Hey,
give
you got
big
your Christmas
discounts,
present.
yeah.
There's a Christmas gift.
I know. I'm telling you, man. Those gas prices was fucking me up, man. I like saving a lot more money now. But yeah, man, we got a lot of topics this week, man.
What we got?
For you Lakeith Stanfield, Darius fans, you guys might be disappointed this week. You might be a little disappointed.
Heartbreak.
For you Darius fans.
It's not even the Darius fans, man. The women be loving them some Lakeith Stanfield. They love them some
Yeah.
Lakeith Stanfield. That is a celebrity crush I've heard time and time again. Nigga was acting crazy. We already been knowing the nigga was a little off. I mean, am I the only one that recognized it? It seems like it.
Nah, I never thought that, and we'll get into it.
All right, what else
I
we
never
got?
thought that. Tory Lanez gets clowned because he finally admits from prison that he did shoot Meg. I don't know. The call was leaked. He called Kelsey, and we can get into it. He called Kelsey, one of his, I should say, sex partners that was involved in the whole Meg Thee Stallion shooting case that happened a while back.
I got it right here.
Yeah.
I know she probably never ever gonna talk to me ever again, but bruh, I just want you to know, bruh. Nigga, I was just so fucking drunk, nigga. I didn't even know what the fuck was going on, bro. That ass. I didn't even know what the fuck was going on, bro. Like that ass, nigga. I'd never do some shit like that, bro. Just that, nigga, I was just so fucking drunk, nigga. I just didn't even understand what the fuck was going on, bro. Like, so whatever, bro. But regardless, that's not gonna make anything right, and that's not gonna make my actions right, bro. But I'm just deeply sorry, bro. I never even moved like that, bro. Like, never moved like that at all, bro. Like, for real, dog.
I couldn't hold it back. I couldn't hold back the laughter. I'm not laughing at the situation. I'm laughing at the fact that this motherfucker really stood 10 toes down and was like, I would never do that. I would never do that.
Yeah.
Releasing music.
Before you,
like, come on now.
you got it. Yeah, before you clowns get on here and say, well, you're an idiot. You're really an idiot because he was already charged. So what was there? What did he admit? What did he get exposed for? Well, you niggas was still on the internet talking about this dude was being done wrong.
Free
this
Tory
dude was
Lanez.
being railroaded. Jay-Z and Rock Nation. His pops
Exactly.
was outside screaming, making all this noise. You know that shit's gonna get sampled in a song at some point.
All these conspiracy theories and shit.
All these conspiracy
And this
theories,
nigga
and the
was
dude
just admitting guilt.
The dude was just like
the night of.
just admitted guilt.
The
night he was
night
like,
of.
he was so drunk he didn't know what the fuck was going on. I didn't mean. It's over. Like we're not talking about legally. Legally, he's finished. Regardless if he did, before we have this information, regardless if he did it, he did it or didn't do it. But this time for, the people's discourse, discussion is over.
Discussion is period
The
point
discussion
blank
is
over.
We're not talking about legally. We know that's done, regardless if he did it or didn't do it.
Career as well.
Back then, but
Career as
Yeah.
well. We were talking about it the other day. Like, he comes out of this 10, 15 years later at the age of, he's going to be like, what, 40-something years old? We're going to be like in our 30s. Ain't nobody going back to listen to Tory Lanez.
yeah.
His little
He's
I
just
Did
murder.
It. He going to come back with a little R. Kelly, little Robert Kelly type album, the I Did It album. Ain't nobody going to listen to that.
Look at Shmurda, man. Like,
What about him?
What is Shmurda? That's what I'm trying to say. Like, nobody's going back and listen to Shmurda.
Oh, exactly, yeah.
We dance the hot nigga at a throwback in the club every once in a while, but nobody cares about Bobby
I honestly
Shmurda.
thought that he was going to have a bigger outing, but I guess there was like label stuff. They wasn't fucking with his new music or whatever. I don't know. But I
Yeah.
honestly thought he was going to turn up when he got out of prison. I really
bro.
did.
That dude went back to regular peon civilian life.
Because
Non-rapper
nobody gives
civilian.
a fuck about these dudes, bro. You're not that substance. Your substance isn't, you don't have that much value in society. Like, it's not like you're Michael Jackson. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Kanye West, Robert Kelly, them niggas could go crazy and niggas would still just eat up everything just because it's them. They're them, you know? But Tory Lanez, stop. I was just so appalled, man, just reading through these because that wasn't the only clip that came out. That wasn't the only audio tape that came out. There was also a tape about Kelsey's interview that she had with the prosecutors.
Right.
And I'm not gonna play that one because that's a little bit longer. But in that interview, I saw people talking about in the comments, little subtweets talking about, oh, we'll see, she's stumbling on her words. That means she did it, like, or not did it, but that means she's lying. She's lying for Meg.
Nah, bro, they're gonna be harassing Meg for years. It doesn't even matter. This whole thing.
She didn't say that he said dance, bitch. You know what that means?
Yeah.
Free Tory Lanez.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you now. They don't. A lot of dudes, they ignore whatever is against their worldview, and that's people in general.
That's people in general.
That's people in general. Yeah.
But
so
the
people
men are going crazy who are
on a hate train for Meg, they're not gonna stop. They're not gonna stop. It doesn't matter that Tory admitted it.
I mean, I've seen.
They're just gonna pretend like it didn't happen.
Yeah, exactly. I've seen some women sprinkled in there talking about that she's a liar or whatever. But it's mainly just the men, bro. And I know social media that's not probably the best barometer to go based off of. We need to probably be speaking to people in person, you know, go a little Billy on the street and like see what the people on the street are talking about, what their opinions are. But from because there's actually tens of thousands of people that are engaging in these conversations, right? So, but a lot of it, the ones that are the most engaged, the ones that are most active and most vocal online are the ones that are just like, it's the men, like 90%, probably like 80% to 90% men talking about Meg is a liar, free Tory Lanez, not enough evidence. I'm like, nigga, I'm sorry, were you in the court? I must have missed something. You were in the jury? Oh, my bad. I didn't know you were in the jury. Oh, you weren't in the jury. Oh, okay. So then shut the fuck up, basically. People are really trying, and then we see like correlations between this and Gervonte Davis had his little fucking situation, to say the least, his situation with his baby mama, his ex. And I saw people talking about the correlation between this and that because, just to run it by everybody, Gervonte Davis, Tank Davis, famous boxer, Floyd Mayweather prodigy, entering his career like prime right now, right? He's like at the peak of his powers, almost about to be. And his baby mama this week called the police on him, told him it was a domestic violence situation. Nigga gets arrested, of course. And then a couple days later, it comes out that, or she comes out and says on Instagram that he didn't touch her. And everybody went fucking crazy. Not everybody, mainly just the men. I saw, like, once again, right. I saw some women sprinkled in there, but it's mainly just the
same dudes.
See, this is what we were trying to say about Tory Lanez and Meg Thee Stallion. See, this is why we got to be skeptical every single time the Me Too situations happen. I'm like, y'all taking it there?
And I'm telling you, bro, it's the same dudes. It's the same. They have a hate bone. They're just like these weird misogynists.
Hate boner.
Like, it didn't start with Meg, but like I feel like the Meg situation stoked it up.
I didn't know she had that much hate. Shit.
They are amped. I mean, these niggas crawled off manosphere sites and Reddit and incel sites and hopped and got on that. They're amped.
They're going.
It's like you showed me that video of Tank. Yeah. She thought that she was talking to another man. He grabbed her by the throat, stood her up, and walked her out of the arena.
Look at that video, guys. Look at that video. Because for the people that are trying to really make it seem like just because she comes out and takes back what she said, that means that, oh, obviously it didn't happen, which I can understand. That's a valid point. Like, if somebody...
Right, she's probably living in fear.
Yeah, exactly. I can understand that. But oh, yeah, to what you were saying, like, go ahead. Because that's what I was going to get at.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I'm like, if this is what he does in public and it didn't seem like there was that big of a fuss about it. I mean, the guy still has a career, right?
Yeah.
What is he doing in private? Exactly. He literally choked her and like stood her up and walked her out.
Exactly.
So he's okay. Like he's like publicly, I can do that. That's fine. So in private, he's putting serious hands. I refuse to believe that he isn't. if he's okay with doing that in public.
Because I can't blame. This is why, like, we can't go based off of just what social media is saying. We said the same thing about the Tory and Meg situation last week. Because people do not do their research. They don't do the due diligence that's necessary to figure out the context, to figure out the past history, to figure out the personalities of people. Because they show you. Like you just said, Gervonte Davis has showed us in public, in front of thousands of people, what he is comfortable doing with the woman of his child. So then he comes back a couple years later, same thing, domestic violence situation. And now people want to just point to the fact that she walked back her statements. She walked back her statements or whatever. But the past history has kind of shown you that he's liable to do that. I don't take it as just a woman trying to lie on a man that's successful just for money. This is the light that a lot of people tried to put it in. I just don't see that. And then I don't
see it.
And basically, you guys, just go look at the facts. Literally just look up how many false accusations there really are when it comes to these domestic violence situations and these sexual assault situations. It's very, very, very minimal. There's not a lot. It's like 2% to 10% of women are
but they get
false
extrapolated.
accusations.
These dudes will have you believing out here that these dudes will really have you out here believing that it's really like 70% of the time they lying.
Right? Isn't that just so funny?
I mean, that's the way they're acting. That's the way that they come. And I understand, like, even with the Meg case, there was a lot of confusion going on all sides, but like, at the end of the day, what Meg said, at the end of the day, what Meg said is she was trying to protect everybody in the whole situation, which I believe 100%.
Yeah.
Which I believe 100%.
Yeah.
And she probably just didn't want her sexual business out there like that, so that's why she covered it.
Yeah.
It doesn't change the fact that Tory was wilding. It doesn't change that fact, but they're looking for any reason to go full misogynist with it.
Yeah.
To discredit the entire argument. Like, do people really care about Tory Lanez that much? Like,
no. It's just
I
because
like his music, but I don't think it's worth defending him.
And another thing is, like, with the Gervonte Davis situation, it kind of ties into the Meg Thee Stallion situation, how you just said that she didn't want to call the cops because she knows what the fuck that means. When you say, hey, I have a violent black man in my presence, and you're calling the cops on him, she already knows what that means. That's called critical thinking, right? People are looking at this Gervonte Davis situation and like, she called the cops on him. She wanted him killed. And I can understand that point, though. I can understand that point. That is more of like a critical thinking type of argument.
Yeah.
That I could. Yeah, go ahead.
People don't, nowadays especially in the black community, it's not just nowadays, but like, social media and everything that's going on, George Floyd has amplified it. Black people don't call the police to really expect to be protected. They just don't. So I don't, if she is being harassed and attacked by this man, why would she think the police are going to even solve the situation, especially if we can't prove it? It kind of reminds me of we just finished watching Breaking Bad. Nick watching it for the first time. There was a sign there. Well, I'm not saying you can prove it, but in a lot of situations, how are they going to put him out the house without definitive proof? And she's covering for him. She's walking back statements. I don't think
days later.
Days later, it's true, but I just don't think there's anybody in her circle, at least from what I can tell, that will actively protect her, and she definitely doesn't feel that she can get that protection from the police, is what I'm trying to say.
Or maybe she was just alone with her child and feared for her child's life or whatever, her life, whatever. Like we said earlier, the man is violent. It's not. You can't just tell me that this is the second situation that they've happened. I mean, you could say that, and I don't know. I don't know their personal life. I don't have a fucking, a recorder on them constantly 24/7. So it could possibly be this is the only two circumstances. The only two circumstances Gervonte Davis has ever put his hands on this woman is the only times we've seen it recorded. Okay. Sure, you could try to say that. I don't think so though. So with this, it's like there is proof. You like you were trying to say with the Breaking Bad situation, we watched in Breaking Bad, the same thing happens. Like you need to have like some form of evidence that something is actually going on here. He's getting physical with you. He's getting violent with you. She had a busted lip. Guys, just go read the fucking court. You can look this shit all up on Google, literally.
Right.
So it's not like you can just get removed for doing nothing.
Yeah, and Walt wasn't abusing Skylar, but she called the cops and was like, he needs to get out of here.
And tried to lie. Yeah, and tried to lie.
Yeah, and there's nothing we can really do. We can't put the man out of the house, you know. But in this case, this is a real situation where the violence is actually happening.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Lakeith Stanfield. Get to it. This was your breaking news topic. This is breaking news, y'all.
I'm the one who found this topic, but you know, before we got on, I just was on Twitter and it just said Lakeith. That's it. It just said like trending topic. And it just said Lakeith. It didn't say Lakeith blah blah blah. Lakeith was doing this. It just said Lakeith.
You know what that means? They just say the first name. Shit.
I clicked on it and the first thing I see is Lakeith's a deadbeat. Lakeith's a bum. I'm like, whoa. I was like, whoa. Like, hold on. We need to take a second. Like, you know, internet would be, you know, dudes would just be talking crazy. But we went to the source, and what happened is that Lakeith had a Drake moment. And for those who don't know the Drake moment, you know, and what's his name? The guy who exposed it. You were hiding it. Pusha's like, you are hiding a child. He had that moment. So basically, Keith had a whole separate family. He had a baby mama, a child that looks to be, I would say, 8 months to a year.
Motherfucker is an infant.
And, and you know, Lakeith publicly announced that he was getting engaged. So his baby mother was like, you know,
I ain't having that.
You haven't seen your son. I ain't having that. Yeah, you haven't seen your son.
Family? Trying to go start another family?
So basically what happened is that she exposed the fact that I'm done being a secret family. The first post was that she was like, I'm done being the secret baby mother with the child. Like, this is the father. This is my child. And then you know, in other posts around social media, she further elaborated that she tried to reach out to Lakeith's fiance, and she just blew her off. Mm-hmm. Lakeith's been dating her for 5 months and got engaged, and he doesn't see his child. He at the time she only has a couple of pictures. That's the most important part. That he's a deadbeat. Basically, is what she's saying, right? I'm not saying any of this definitively. That's her side of the story. Mm-hmm. But you know, the internet is just in an uproar right now because you know Lakeith gets a lot of love. I mean, I fuck with Lakeith.
There was a lot of black.
I actually met him one time. I wouldn't say met, but I was at the same bar as him, and I bumped into him. I apologized, like, my bad, man. I didn't even know it was him. And someone was like, you know that was Lakeith Stanfield, right? But that's a whole side note.
I don't think people are gonna care.
Yeah.
I don't think people are gonna care. Because people meaning the black women. Black women, I don't think black women are gonna care.
Well, people not gonna care. Well, yeah, and like,
yo, that's hubby for them.
Future is the ultimate deadbeat. And
yeah, but women aren't attracted to Future like that. Women aren't attracted to Future like that. Lakeith is like a heartthrob for black women.
Yeah.
I don't know another circumstance in which a man gets away with this type of shit. You said Future, maybe Drake. I was hiding the world from my kid. I wasn't hiding the kid from the world. Lakeith, I don't think he's gonna. I think he should. I think he's gonna get away with this. I really do.
But I think he's gonna be fine. But my thing is like, what do you think about the entire hiding a child thing, like secret, quote unquote, secret family thing?
I mean,
you know, like a Drake and celebrities are like.
I don't think it's just a celebrity thing.
Yeah.
I think it's a bigger deal because it's a celebrity. And so more people are going to talk about it because more people are aware of it. But it's not that they're hiding their kids, dude. This is called protecting your kids. We've all, like, I'm sure most people would do the same exact thing. Unless you're like a Kris Kardashian, or Kris Jenner, I mean.
Right.
And you're trying to make money off of your kids. Then you're going to put them all out there. You're gonna put out a porn tape of them.
You're gonna straight up pimp them out.
Yeah.
Is what she did.
Most people keep their kids pretty under wraps, you know? I mean, you might, as they get older, you might allow them to become their own brands or whatever. But most people aren't trying to pimp out their kids like that. You were just talking about how Rihanna did the same thing. Rihanna and ASAP, like, they have a kid around the same age. Yeah. Like, but paparazzi they're trying to get that photo. And they're trying to protect their kid from it. So then what happens? Like, they fucking get the photo eventually after years of trying or whatever. After months of trying, I mean. And it's like, no, like, let me control the narrative. Lakeith just didn't get ahead of this story. He couldn't control the narrative. So that's the problem with this. I don't have any problem with Lakeith trying to, quote unquote, protect his child. I don't know if that's what the case was. It doesn't seem like that because
it doesn't seem like that at all.
From her word, he's just not around.
He's just not around, and he just seems like a private guy. I don't really think this. I feel like with Drake is more deliberate. That was more deliberate. I felt like with Drake, like he was actively like covering this shit up. I think Lakeith was just kind of like living his life. He wasn't posting his business on social media. He got married. He's getting engaged, and the baby mother was like, "No, we ain't having that." You know what I mean?
I don't blame
like,
her, bro. I don't blame her.
Yeah.
You gonna go over there and try to start another family, and you got this one you're not taking care of?
Yeah.
And I don't know if she's
like,
getting taken care of or whatever, but if you're not seeing the child, like that's the problem, yo.
See, that's the problem in this whole situation. It's him not seeing a child. Because I don't agree with this whole like I'm sure there are men who see their children and they just not feeling the baby mother. They felt her enough to have sex. A baby came up with the situation. But the dude is like, I don't want to marry you. I don't want to be in a relationship with you, but I care about my children. So he's seeing his children and he's starting a new family. This is not even news.
Yeah.
And really even the deadbeat thing is so common. I think it's only news because it's Lakeith. But I want to know what you think about this whole situation about the baby mother getting mad at you for starting another family, but you see your children. Like, what are your thoughts on the bitterness? I'm not saying in this case
happens
she's bitter,
with everybody though.
In the right,
everybody's
trying to deadbeat.
Everybody's vindictive, bro. We talking about Drake. Like Drake's entire brand is I'm a vindictive, petty ass nigga. That's what I do.
Petty simp. Revenge.
That's what I do.
Simp.
You know, like we acted like this is like a one-sided gender thing. Women aren't the only ones that do it, but we do know like what's the phrase, like a woman, nothing like a woman scorned or something.
Nothing. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. I think
something like that. That's Shakespeare.
I don't know. I have no idea.
It must be Shakespeare. But yeah, I mean, I don't care. I don't care because I'm gonna do the same thing. Like me personally, I would do the same thing. Like if I'm dating a girl and we dating for a while, we have a kid or whatever. Maybe we don't. I don't care. But if we're dating for a while and we break up and you go get another man that's hurting my ego, what the fuck am I gonna do? I'm gonna get a woman that's gonna hurt your ego and I'm gonna post that girl. We all do it. Let's stop the cap.
I just don't care. Maybe I'm lying. I just don't care enough. Most I probably do is
throw social media jabs?
Throw shots. Most I probably do is just I won't even block you on Insta. I'll just mute your posts because I don't want to see your shit. I don't want you to get the satisfaction. I'm still doing it, but it's for me. It's not me actively attacking you. It's for me to actively
it's not necessarily an attack,
maintain my mental health on the shit.
It's not necessarily. I see your point. It's not necessarily an attack though. It's more like a subtweet. Like I'm living life. Like I'm doing better. Not necessarily doing better than you.
I'm gonna be flexing though. Yeah.
Then that's what we're talking about.
I'm gonna be flexing new shit, but it's not even in the sense that I'm just gonna be flexing on dudes. Period. I'm not particularly focused on you. You know what I mean?
I gotta call cap. But maybe that's you. Maybe that's you. You must be the only one on the planet who doesn't feel
I would
like
have to be. I would have to really hate you. I would
up.
have to really hate you to try to be one up on you, and that's very. I can't even think of a time that's legit in my life. Yeah, I have to really hate you.
If that's what you say,
I'm not just gonna be. If you being petty, I'm just gonna roll my eyes and middle finger you for real, like in my own personal and in my mind. You know, I'm not gonna. I don't really care that much. Like a lot of people trip. I'm like, all right, mute. All right, blocked. All right, unfollow. Like I that's it. And if I really care, I'm gonna mute and block you. Like you'll know I'm not fucking with you.
I gotta flex.
But I don't have to like. I'm not gonna keep you around just to flex and make you wonder and try to, try to get that you up text. You know,
I'm gonna get a girl that looks just like you. She gonna dress just like you. I'm just playing.
Like
really.
Kanye and with that Cheney. What's her name? That Cheney chick.
Yeah, Kanye did that too.
That Kim Kardashian.
I'm telling you, bro.
Like
You literally are the only person on earth that will ever like have that type of that thought process. I've never met one. We all got to get one ups on the exes. We all got to.
Yeah. And it reminds me of Intergalactic, and this is a bit of a spoiler, but that's on my, let me shut up. But anyway, we can cut that out. But yeah, I don't know if y'all have seen the movie Intergalactic, but there was a scene where the main character, he was they implied that he was kind of struggling. He had a little toxic relationship with this character that appeared early in the movie, and then when he came up, she was kind of on him, I'm okay with those chance meetings where it's like, all right, you might see me with my new boo, or you might see me. I'm leveled up. I got a new car, but I'm not gonna actively go out of my way to fuck with you. I'm not gonna be on the social media fucking with you. I'm not gonna be making posts because that lets you think that I still care.
You do care, but maybe you don't. I care, but maybe you don't.
I don't care. If you cheat on me, I'm gonna be like, oh, I mean, I'm gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. I'm not acting like it's not gonna hurt. I'm just not gonna give you the satisfaction. I'm gonna be stoic. I'm gonna be like, all right, I'm gonna be nice, bro. You got a week. Get your shit. Take your time. But you got a week though. But like, I'm not gonna kick you out immediately. But get the fuck out. Like, I'm already gonna be dating again. Like, I don't. It's nothing to feel bad about. It's like, bro, like, if you want to be with other dudes, go do it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not. There's nothing to be mad about. Like, bro, just live your life.
Turn the other cheek type of nigga.
There's too much. I'm not gonna have you fuck up my week, bro.
You sound
I'm not
like
gonna have you
Jesus.
fuck up my month. I'm not gonna have you fuck up my year.
Yeah, you sound like Jesus.
It's gonna hurt my feelings. I'm
Just
probably
turn
gonna be
the
mad
other
about it
cheek.
low key for a while, but I can get over it faster if I just don't give you the satisfaction. But
Yeah,
that's
I got
just
you.
me.
I got you. All right, what else we got? What's next?
So ABC mixes up Quavo and Takeoff,
Oh my God.
and we can go deep, man. We went deep on this yesterday, just
Yeah,
fucking
we were
around on
breaking it
Discord.
down. We were breaking that down because as black men, I should say, I'm sure other people have also experienced this type of shit. We both have our own individual stories from our personal lives where people, non-black people, will somehow miraculously confuse us for people that look nothing like us. Nigga, you see this chocolatey skin?
I've never done it in my life. With
I've
any
seen
other
niggas.
group of people.
I've had niggas talk to me about like trying to confuse me with like light skinned niggas. Like, huh? Dudes that got like braids in their hair and shit. Like, look nothing alike.
And you like 6'4", 6'5", trying to compare you with light skinned dudes who are like 5'7",
Exactly.
5'6", 5'5".
Exactly.
That's how you know that people are not really looking at you.
Bro, I'm so
You're just
tired.
black.
I'm so
That's
tired.
real though. You can.
This type of stuff doesn't happen that often, where you see companies just completely fuck up like a couple of black men or whatever, a couple black people. But this happened. Like, this isn't the first time I've seen this happen. That's what I'm trying to say.
Happens. It happens, and I've seen it happen on mainstream media. Like, it's not happening like every day, but it happens. There was one that happened earlier this year that I'm trying to remember. It was sports related, I think. I think it was like ESPN related. It was like some really dumb shit. I don't remember what it was.
Was it like Bill Russell or something? No way. It couldn't have
I
been.
don't remember. I think it was like somebody passed away and they like put some random dude's picture
Jesus
there.
Christ.
It was something
Yeah,
like that.
That shit happens.
And
And with that, the only thing that means is that they don't have black people, or at least anybody. It doesn't have to. They don't have to be black necessarily, but they don't have anybody that like understands black culture, sees black culture, is present in black culture. Because this is an easy one, bro.
I can't believe that.
This
because
is like, yeah. Go ahead.
I just can't believe it, because I never in my life have, and maybe some people, I've heard people say, because black folks, like, I don't know, we're around a lot of people, we're around a lot of different groups of people, so we can see differences, but like, I've never mixed people up in my life. I swear to God, I've never mixed up two people of the same race. I was like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. I don't know why it makes
Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise.
It's like mixing up Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise.
I mean, I
know what I
get,
mean?
I
Like-
get that they're in the same group, but damn, like seriously, they wouldn't mix up like Owen Wilson and his brothers. You know what I mean? Like, they would have had somebody check that shit, because that's in white culture. Like, you know what I mean? Like, those ABC is predominantly a white company, most likely. I don't know the facts on that, but probably at least the people that are making these decisions, that room clearly is probably just full of white people or non-black people at that.
Yeah.
So this
just
isn't,
has
if
to
they
be
had
racism.
like BET would never make this mistake. That's what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? Like black people would never make this type of mistake.
But we have I have a story, and we were in the same class. I'm pretty sure we were in high school. It was freshman year, 9th grade biology, and we had a teacher who was like, she would mix up like me and like another, and it was like 4 or 5 black people in that class, and it was a decent amount. That was probably most of the black people in the school were in that class, because we went to a predominantly white private school. I swear to God, like literally like 60 to 70% of the black people in the school were in that class. But anyway, she would mix me up and another guy, and I'm like, we look literally nothing alike. Literally nothing alike.
And it just makes you feel like they're just not looking.
I mean, it's like, it's not even, we can't even argue it. You can't even, there's nothing to get confused about. Like, I'm taller than him. I have a much bigger head than him. We have different hairstyles. We have different skin tones.
Yeah.
We have completely different facial features. It's just like, it is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And she would
I
do
wonder
it
if there's
all
other people,
the time.
Because I know people say like that racist shit about like Asian people all look alike and shit. Like, I'd like to hear in the comments if anybody's experienced this. Like, if it's other groups of people other than, like, is it just all non-white groups?
I think it is, because I had a moment. I'm not going to, for my safety, I'm not going to disclose where I heard this, but this is like a week or two ago. Someone was like saying some crazy, just in passing, saying some crazy stuff like, well, they all look alike about Asian people. And I was just looking like, I never in my life have had that problem.
Yeah.
I don't understand why it's so fucking hard.
Because
I just don't get it.
I guess when you get to that level of racism,
they don't see your humanity.
Yeah.
They don't see your humanity. It's
as
just
an
like,
individual, yeah.
That's a nigga.
Yeah.
That's an Asian.
Yeah, exactly.
That's an Indian. They're not really looking at you as like, this is a person with a name, with a family, who likes these things, who dresses this way, has these facial features. I just has this voice. It is like, you're black. That's all you are. I just can't comprehend it. It's weird, dude. It's like some weird narcissism. Like I don't know, man.
Yeah, it is weird. Another weird thing that happened this week that it's not weird to me, but a lot of people thought that Tom Brady's back at it again. If you guys recall, a couple of years back, Tom Brady had a situation where he was documenting something. He was in a documentary or something. And he kissed his kid on the lips, one of his sons on the lips. And people went wild with that story, saying like, that's not right. And the kid was younger then. Come this week, similar situation. Instagram. What is it? Was it on Instagram? I'm fucking up this story. Tom Brady was on Instagram.
I'm pretty sure it was on Instagram.
Tom Brady was on Instagram, and he basically
the other one was on Instagram too.
Yeah, he basically just shared an image of his son sitting in his lap, his 13-year-old son sitting in his lap, and he kissed him on the cheek in another photo. And people went wild with that, saying like this is like it's like perverted or something, trying to put it in some type of perverse narrative. I don't get that. You had a different opinion than me though.
Yeah, I think, remember, I have a different relationship with my parents, right? Maybe it's me. But, that sitting in your parents' lap stuff, that ended at like 6 or 7. That's just me, though. Like, my parents still kiss me on the forehead. Like, my dad used to kiss me on the forehead all the time up till I was probably a teenager. Going, like, on the forehead. Like, mom, same thing. I love my parents. I hug my parents. But that sitting in that lap stuff feels very little kid to me. 13 is a kind of old, man.
But people aren't saying that
kiss is fine.
People aren't.
The kiss is fine. I have
no
no problem with the kiss, but the sitting in the lap is a little weird for me. That's all I'm saying.
People aren't saying that it's because he's a growner kid. He's more of like an older kid. People aren't saying that's the reason why it's weird. People are saying it's weird because you shouldn't be doing that as a parent. And that's the thing I don't agree with. Because it's your fucking kid. You can't show affection to your fucking kid, who's, by the way, only 13 years old. This kid it's not like he's a fucking grown ass 25-year-old man.
But
even in that case, though, hold up. Because even in that case, why the fuck would it still matter? It's your fucking kid.
Yeah, it's not. But here's the thing: if you post it to the internet, they're gonna scrutinize you. If you didn't want to be scrutinized, you shouldn't have posted it, right? But when I imagine my 8th grade self, no way I'll be sitting in my dad's lap. That's all I'm saying. It is just does not even. I'm way too old for that. Imagine yourself in 8th grade.
So you think
going to high school?
It's not like it's against his fucking will. It's not like Tom Brady is like, you're gonna sit in my lap or else, because that's what people were trying to say was wrong with the last time he got. People were criticizing about it. It was like, oh my god, like, because remember, like, he was like, I want to kiss. I don't know what the kid's name is, but he was like, I want to kiss, son, and then he kissed him on the cheek, and he's like, no, on the lips. And people were like, oh my god, I can't believe you're forcing your child to kiss you on the lips, like.
And the lips one is weird for me too. I don't know. Maybe it's just how I was raised. But my parents have never kissed me on the lips.
I really think people are just trying to homoeroticize it. I really do. And that's fucked up because it's a fucking father and his child. It's a father and his child.
Maybe it's the narrative. Maybe it's that narrative that all these rich elite people are like pedos and like, You think that has something to do with it? Like that's the narrative. Running around all the
if
time.
that's what people are thinking, that's fucking dumb, bro. This is his child, and I'm not saying that shit doesn't happen. We already know stories of where people, abuse their children or whatever like that. But I doubt that Tom Brady is doing that shit. It looks to me that he's just being affectionate with his fucking kids, and it's not. I just don't see the problem with that. I don't think it would be a problem if it was Giselle doing this.
The kiss is fine. It's nothing to even bat an eye. All I'm saying is just that the lap thing is like, when I see myself as 13 years old, that's a little strange. That's all I'm saying. I'm not calling a man a pervert. They might have a different relationship. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying, for me, I can't fathom it. It doesn't even connect in my mind. For me,
you would have been like, no,
at
Dad,
that age,
I'm not sitting in your lap. That's weird.
I'm like, hell no. When my dad used to hold my hand crossing the street. As soon as I hit like 8 or 9, I was like, bro, we done with that. And my dad kept trying to do it.
What if people saw and recorded it and was like, you guys are weird. Like he shouldn't be doing that to you. That's perverse.
No, but I was 8 or 9 years old though. Then you'd be tripping if you were trying to criticize that at 8. I'm literally a kid, a single digit kid. People, of course, you're gonna hold your kid's son across the street. But for me, I was like, I'm too old for that at like 8 or 9. I'm like,
that's probably how old the kid was the last time. He was probably like 8 or 9, 10 years old the last time, and people were still getting on it. Yeah, I think it's just people like to scrutinize, like we were talking about with this Lakeith situation. Like, people are just going to scrutinize celebrities just because of the fact that they're celebrities. People really think that they have a right to do that.
Yeah, you're right. They do think they have a right to scrutinize celebrities, because it kind of reminds me of what we talked about last week with James Cameron, how they were like, James, please sign this, James. And he was just like, I got stuff to do. He's like, I spent all this money on your fucking movie. I own you. Like, they think they own you because you bought their product, or someone bought their product, so now they think that they own you.
I just
like
think it's weird,
gave
man.
them money, so
I think
now
people on
they
the
have
internet
control
are
of your
so
life.
strange. Like, you guys are getting so like not fed up, but you guys get so like aggro about these types of situations when it's just like the most natural thing for a parent to show affection to a child. But then you guys are the same, and maybe it is that pedophilia type of narrative. Maybe that is the way that some people are trying to look at it. I don't know. But y'all be the same niggas that are like fans of these people's kids in the first place. Like, oh my God, I love Northwest. I've seen literal Northwest pages with tens of thousands. This is like a fucking child, probably the same age as this kid.
People are like, weirdos.
They got like stan accounts for these people with tens of thousands of followers. Y'all are weird. Be all up in people's relationships and stuff. Like, oh my God,
why are you making fan pages of people's children?
I'm telling you.
Why are you making fan pages of people's children?
Y'all are weird. Y'all are weird people, bro.
I swear to God, bro. I watched a movie that reminded me of that yesterday. I watched a movie. It's called Ingrid Goes West, and it's all about like this like chick. I don't know what kind of mental disorder she had, but she's like one of those social media stalkers. Like, you can like her post, and all of a sudden she has a Joe Goldberg obsession with you, and she'll like she traveled the country to meet this socialite lady who like commented on her comment on her post.
People are weird. Shit is real. They get
that made me feel like when you told me about that, people making fan accounts for North, like whoever made that account is a fucking weirdo. It's multiple. Like on that level,
not just one. It's not just
on
one.
that
It's
level.
multiple.
You know what I mean? Like, that's weird, bro. Like, I'd be like disgusted if someone was like made a fan page for my child. I feel violated. Like, it'd be weird. I'm like,
people are like very strange. Like, people try to parent. People try to tell you how to parent through the internet. If you remember, like the Kanye West Kim Kardashian situation when he was saying that he doesn't want his kids on TikTok, people were like, oh my God, he's trying to force his kids. Like,
because he knows how crazy these people. I'm sure Kanye has met all types of crazy people he just never has talked about. All types of crazy people on tour and people just trying to get to meet him and people scheming and infiltrating all his stuff just to talk to him, like weirdos. Like, just like that movie I told you about. Like, that lady was like infiltrating and orchestrating, and she stole the lady's dog so then she could return the dog so then she can meet her. She could be in her space. Like, weirdos. Like, I'm sure Kanye knows. I'm sure he knows.
They all know. When you get to
a man at that level of profile, he probably has crazy level stalkers harassing him all the time.
I want to talk about this year as a whole. It's New Year's Eve. I want to talk about this year as a whole and give some of we made a couple of lists. I mean, I kind of want to give us a little rundown. Let's get a little rundown here of some of our favorites. You want to start with movies or you want to start with music?
Let's start with movies.
All right, you go ahead because you were the movie. You're the biggest movie fan.
So yeah, I'm gonna just give it like a raw. I'm gonna just go through the list, and then we can. If you have anything you want to discuss on any of the movies I listed, and this is in no particular order, but the movies I think I enjoyed the most this year was Glass Onion, which is on Netflix now. Avatar 2, Way of the Water. There was a Hellraiser remake.
Oh yeah,
Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Of course,
Wakanda Forever. The Batman.
Yeah.
Prey. That was the Predator. I love that movie. We're gonna talk about it because I know you hated that movie.
Just talk
the
about
Predator.
It. That movie
the
was
Predator
nasty,
remake,
bro. That movie was
I
so trash.
I thought that movie was cool, bro.
It was predictable. There was points in it that didn't make sense. The fact that these people spoke English was the dumbest thing to me.
You know, there's a dub that they speak the native language. There's a dub for it.
That was just so stupid.
That criticism is out the water. Criticism is out the water because there's a dub. They literally released a dub where they were speaking their native language.
But that's not the
English.
One that they released.
They put it. I'm pretty sure they released both.
I didn't know that. They didn't market that.
I don't know what the language is called, but I did read there was a dub for it, so you can watch the movie. And I didn't watch it. I watched it in English. But there's a dub for it. But it kind of reminds me of like Avatar 2. Like they do speak the Na'vi language, but a lot of times they're speaking English just to make it more accessible. A lot of people don't want to read subtitles. I really feel like
Na'vi is a fantasy language, isn't that?
It is a fantasy language. I understand.
So that doesn't count.
I think it counts because we're assuming that it's a real language, and you can ask the same question. In terms of continuity, fiction or not, you can still ask, well, if it's been established they speak a certain language, why are they all speaking English?
You could try to say that, but no one's going to listen to these people speak a fantasy language the entire 3 hours. I'm sorry. No one's doing that. Same with Lord of the Rings. They have their own languages and stuff like that. No one's fucking... Same with House of the Dragon, Game of Thrones. No one's going to fucking sit there. This is a fictional movie, too. This is fiction.
No,
but it's based on Earth.
Avatar has shit that's based on Earth, too.
When they're on Earth... Okay, and also, the Na'vi have been exposed to humans. That's another thing.
They have. That's true, but it's still, this is all fiction. You could say the same. The Europeans have been over there. Who's to say they didn't learn English?
I thought it was bullshit. Another thing I had a problem with.
These are both settler movies.
Another thing I had a problem with is that the Predator fucking got killed because he didn't know how to use his own weapon. I'm sorry.
I don't think he got killed because she stole his helmet that controls his weapon systems. And she set up a trap he killed him. So he ended up killing himself.
With his own weapon.
Because she set up a trap. She stole his control unit.
What was the trap? The trap was she stole the thing. The thing that
she stole the helmet.
That targets the target, right?
Yeah,
he has the target.
Yeah. They aimed at
the target. He didn't know.
Yeah.
He has to look at the fucking target. He has to aim at the fucking target. He doesn't know how to use his own weapon?
I don't think he knows how to use it without his control unit. So when he tried to use it, and I haven't seen the movie in a while.
Man, that shit is so bullshit.
I can't recall it. I just know that she used his own weapons against him. This is not prehistoric. This is colonial.
No,
this is like
the Predators
15,
are. The Predators are supposed to be like these ancient beings. That shit is so dumb to me.
They're not ancient beings. They're aliens. They go to different worlds to find strong warriors.
They're supposed to be older. They're older than humans, I would assume.
But they are ancient. You're right. They are ancient, but they have more advanced technology than us.
They be fighting other aliens. They be fighting other aliens and shit. Like that shit is so dumb to me. I'm sorry. Continue with your list.
What else? Nope. That's on my list. Bodies, and Intergalactic.
Yeah. You pretty much have all of mine. I didn't really watch that many movies, and I mean, I watched a good amount of movies this year, but the movies that I saw were trash. People won't get to understand that most of the movies that I think like 70% of the movies that I see are whack. I think actually probably like 80% of the movies that are
you'd be a dope film critic.
They whack.
Hate you, bro.
Huh?
They'd hate you. I said you'd be a dope film critic because you don't have like mercy. Like if you think if you're gonna nitpick shit that people are not gonna nitpick.
I think if it's a glaring nitpick,
people will come watch your reviews.
I think if it's a glaring nitpick, it needs to be discussed, and I think it's always valid. My list is as follows. This is no particular order. This is my favorites. This is not objectives. It's only subjective. Nope. Because that was the best horror movie I've probably ever seen. Maybe like top three. Top three horror movies I've ever seen. I just thought the concept was brilliant. To make the alien, the fucking spaceship, is fucking brilliant. Never been done. I don't think that's ever been conceived. Brilliant. Love Jordan Peele. I have Intergalactic as well. I thought that was gonna be a movie that set off like a whole wave, and I guess we can still see because it came out this year. We'll see in the next coming couple of years. I thought that's gonna set off a whole wave of just black romance, just lovely black romance movies, rom-com movies. I think it would be beautiful. And Kid Cudi actually did something right for the first time because I hate his music.
Oh my god.
Of course, Everything Everywhere All at Once. That's probably the best movie of the year.
That's a GOAT movie. That's the best movie of the year, and the movie is still slept on. By the way, just make sure we're recording.
I hope the Oscars rewards it, bro. I swear to God, if the Oscars, and it's coming up. Oscars are what, January?
Yeah.
Are they, or
I think
February?
So.
They're early next year. If they do not give Everywhere All at Once best film,
that movie is being ignored for some reason. I don't know why.
Bro, we're gonna come out. I'm gonna shit so hard on the Oscars if they do that. I might not ever watch it again because they be doing that shit on purpose. That's that political shit. Moving on, I got RRR. I don't know what it stands for. I forget what it stands for, but that Bollywood flick, guys, it's on Netflix. Please do yourself a service and watch that movie. It's 3 hours long, so yeah, but it is the most entertaining film of the year. It was more entertaining to me than Everywhere All at Once. It's not better, but it's more entertaining. I will say that. I have the Batman, of course. I mean, we started the year off with that one. I think that was the biggest blockbuster.
That was a dope flick. That movie was 3 hours long, if I remember, or almost 3 hours, right?
It was long. It was really good though. And then I have Multiverse of Madness because I just needed to throw something else on there because I didn't know. But I saw that movie twice in theaters, so like, I mean, I gotta put that on the list. Like, I can't cap. And I really liked how Wanda just destroyed all of the Avengers or all of the Illuminati. God. She popped heads.
Like how she did Mr. Fantastic. She just like shredded this dude to noodles.
She just popped his head.
Popped his head.
Black Bolt, his head popped. Like it was just, she was snapping necks. I mean,
and they didn't really let him go off. They didn't really. A lot of people said that they like neutered that movie a little bit.
Well, because you had to get to the. Disney. They're not going to make that movie 3 hours long. That's the reason why.
And rated R. That would have been so meta.
It was supposed to be. Like, remember?
But they know that people love Doctor Strange, and they would be like, "We want to take our children, but it's rated R." Like, you know, but they have to everyman everything. But
we're going to miss out on $200 million if we don't do that. We know we're going to make $2 billion, but we're going to miss out on $200 million if we don't make it rated PG-13.
They might actually make more. They might even get people who hate Marvel and love horror movies.
I'm telling you.
Like,
can someone please listen to this man at Marvel?
You know what? Because like, you know, there might be people who might be like, but I'm sure their logic is only people who go see this movie, people who've been following this shit. Nobody's just gonna up and be like, watch sequel number 30 of a movie just because they heard the horror scenes were dope. I just don't think that's gonna happen.
I think that's what works in DC's favor when they come out with something like the Batman. The fact that it's rated R is the thing that draws people in because they know they're gonna get the grit.
Was the Batman actually rated R?
I thought it was. It wasn't.
I mean, let me look this up. Maybe I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't remember it being that, man.
Oh, I thought it was
that violent.
My bad. Yeah, double check that.
It was PG-13.
Oh, my bad.
PG-13. Yeah.
Well, it feels like a rated R film, and I think that's the reason why it draws a certain crowd is because it feels gritty. It's damn near close to rated R. I mean, all they gotta do is throw in another F-bomb, and it's rated R.
Throw some more limbs, some more limbs flying and bombs, and then maybe it'll be rated R. More blood.
Let's go into music, and then we'll finish with that.
So yeah, my music I only had 5 on here. I like Mahal by Tory Lanez. Come on, bro.
That album was trash, yo. That you have to admit that's a subpar album for him. That's probably his worst album.
You know what? I've seen people say that. I've seen a lot of people. You're not the only one.
I know I'm not the only one.
I know a lot of people who love Toro, and it was like, that album was there. I was like, what?
He tried to do a little.
That was pretty good.
He tried to do a little like beach sound, a little like lighthearted sunshine sound.
His version of More Life.
I wasn't going for it. Yeah. There was that one song that you played as a deep cut that one week that was really good. I forget what episode that was, but there was that one cut. That was the best song on the album.
Yeah.
Continue.
Spirituals by Santi Gold. Her new album. Gothic Luxury by Michi Darko. He's from Flatbush Zombies. This is his first solo album. I love it. I have the vinyl. I have vinyl from Mahal too. Intergalactic, the movie had an album that Kid Cudi made. I love that. And Coping Mechanism by Willow Smith. Those are my albums for the year.
Good call. Number 1, I have Drake, Honestly Never Mind. And I will say that is my favorite. So this is not in a particular order, but I will say that album is my favorite one of the year. And I know everybody shitted on that album. H&M Music, right? This is Forever 21. This is
Elevator music.
Yeah,
Or
elevator
they were playing
music.
the SpongeBob. Like, remember when SpongeBob was like, he was dancing with that episode, he was dancing in his house. Like,
I thought,
you remember that?
Man, yeah, I remember those memes, bro. They clown Drake all the time. We us as well. But I thought that album was like a reach for him, and he delivered on it. And if you remember, I think that album came out like a week or two right before Beyonce's album. And what did she do? Kind of like a similar like club Jersey type of album,
like house.
So yeah, exactly. And I thought that he executed. I'm not gonna say he executed better. I'm just gonna say he executed just as well as Beyonce did. Everyone loves the Beyonce album. I guess I'll say that one next. Renaissance was also one of my favorites. I mean, that album is fucking great. Gonna win a lot of Grammys. I have Raven Lenae, Hypnos. If you guys don't know Raven Lenae, please do yourself a service and go listen to that. Obviously, Steve Lacy, Bad Habits. Drake and 21 Savage, another Drake project, Her Loss. I thought that album was beautiful. Beautiful. I listened to that album often. I'll just say it at that. Kendrick Lamar, Mr. Morale, and the Big Steppers, I thought was fire. There's this new artist named Leia. She released an album this year called Hello. And that was a really good album. I really enjoyed that one. Future, I Never Liked You, one of his best projects. We're not going to have that discussion right now, but that's one of his best projects that he's made.
But
concise too. Concise too. And then FKA Twigs, Capri Songs, which was just, if you guys are looking for just a good vibe,
yeah,
fucking just put that album on.
That's the one with Ride the Dragon?
Yeah. She's
good.
good. She's great, man. She's great. I just wish she liked black guys, but that's another story for another day.
Damn. We don't know definitively.
I mean, yeah, I guess you're right, but I don't think that there's many black women out there that could go for a Shia LaBeouf and go for Michael B. Jordan at the same time. But that's just me. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I gotta leave it up to her to prove it. But yeah, man, this year of music was great. This year of film was subpar to me, but it looks like you found a lot of things to favorite.
It wasn't the greatest. Everything Everywhere was a pinnacle, though. It definitely made it. To me, it made it a great year of movies.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of Netflix content came out. This year has a lot of shit though. Like for those who like Penn Badgley, the series about the serial killer guy.
2023.
Yup, February season 4. It looks crazy. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the new Spider-Verse movie. I thought it was coming out this month, but I was wrong. That movie looks good. Into the Spider-Verse. I know you hate Into the Spider-Verse. I don't know why.
I don't hate it.
I don't know.
I don't hate it. I never said hate. It's very hard for me to hate something. It needs to be shitty in order for me to hate it. I don't hate it.
Now they're ripping off that movie. Intergalactic art style is ripping off that movie. Straight up. Straight up.
Yeah, that art style is getting, I wouldn't say ripped off, but there are people that are impressed by that art style. All right, guys.
Especially live. They
Yes.
kick so much ass live. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I know. I gotta see them. That was episode 37 for that ass. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we will see you guys next week. Same time, same place for the next episode of the Top Tier Podcast. We'll catch you guys later.
See you guys later.